Hello friends, in this video I'll be talking about my strategy for the IDT subject in which I had scored 88 marks in my CA final. So let's first talk about the classes. I had taken my classes from Ramesh Soni sir, and in IDT I feel that classes are not very important provided that one is very good and consistent in their self-study. But I had taken classes, so I suggest that you should take classes so that you can study and complete the whole subject within a particular time span, because if you are thinking to do self-study in this subject, then you have to be very consistent and very disciplined to complete the subject within a particular time span. So while watching classes, one important thing which I used to do was that after completion of any chapter, I used to do the question answers of that chapter. And doing question answer doesn't mean that I just audit the question answer. I used to write the whole answers of few questions of that chapter. Let's say there are 6 or 7 questions in that chapter, then I used to write the questions. I used to write the answers of at least 2 or 3 questions so that I can have the grip on the language of the law, because it really matters. Now, after classes, let's talk about the revision strategy for the IDT. So, in my case, I had after finishing of my classes, I had did the one revision before my leave period, before my preparation leave period, and in that time, I had actually read the whole book, and then I marked the question answers, which I felt that which will be important for me for the last day. After that, in my 3 months leave period, I had actually revised the whole IDT from the chart book of, and that chart book was very concise, and that was the only material which I had referred for my last day also. So I had not changed anything in my IDT apart from doing the question and answers from the coaching books. I had also marked few questions in the study material which were not there in my coaching books. So one important thing which I feel has helped me to score 88 was the short notes of the question and answer. So in IDT there are a lot of questions. So if, for example, in one chapter there are 20 questions. So I had marked, let's say, around 5 to 8 questions for each chapter that I will be doing in my last day. So even if I mark 5 to 8 questions, then it will be a lot of questions if I mark the 5 to 8 questions in all the chapter. So I cannot revise all the questions. So what I did was I had taken one page and then I wrote summary of that question in that page. So let's say the question is of supply, whether it is a supply or not, a kind of question, but there is some trickiness in that question. So I used to write the trickier part in that notes, so that if I read only the notes, I can have the concept in my mind without even reading whole question and answer. So I did this for all the chapters of IDT, and in the end, I have the kind of 5 to 6 pages of question answer short notes in which I had all the summaries of the question answer. And one more thing about the MCQs, I had only referred the ICI booklet for the MCQs and no other faculties booklet, because ICI booklet is very much sufficient and it contains a lot of questions. So what I did was I had marked few MCQs which are very trickier one in that booklet, and apart from that, for most of the MCQs which are not very easy but which are not very tricky as well, I had wrote down the concept in 1 or 2 pages. So I had on and around kind of 8 to 9 pages of the notes, which are the summary notes of the question and answer, and which contains the concept. So on the last day, I actually revised all the notes and I had not seen any questions except few practical questions on the ITC or the output tax liability calculations to have the basic format in my mind. So that was my question and answers strategy for this. And there are a lot of case laws as well in the IDT. So I felt that I will not be able to remember all the case laws. So what I did was I actually practiced all the questions which were case law based, and I remembered the judgment of the case law, and I learned few case law names which I felt that might be important from my own perspective, or somewhere if my coaching faculty had marked them. So in exams, whenever a question came, I can write the answer on the basis of the judgment that I know. And for section numbers, there were few questions in my exam for which I was not very confident regarding the section number. So I had not mentioned the section number. I just mentioned that according to the provision of the act, so that I don't lose marks on writing the wrong section number. And the most important is writing practice. Until and unless we don't write the answers as a paper, as a full-fledged paper, we will not be able to make it in the exam as well. Because I feel that whatever mistakes which gonna happen in exam, why should we risk them in the exam? We should at least try to write the paper as a mock test paper before actually writing the exams, so that we can get to know about our mistakes, about our speed, about which area we have to focus more by writing these papers. So I had written the two mock test paper of the ICI for the May attempt, and before that I had also written the past year papers like the December 21 and the July 21 paper. I actually sat down for 3 hours and wrote the whole paper, and then I checked them by myself using the suggested answers. So that helped me a lot in which areas I should focus on, which mistakes I am doing. Am I okay with the formats? My mind is clear with the formats, clear with the concepts, etc. So this is actually very important that you should practice writing papers. I feel that IDT is very scoring subject, though it does not require that much efforts as other subject of the CA finals require. So prepare well for this subject and you can end up scoring very good marks, and it can also help you to score very good marks in your group 2. So it can help you to clear your group 2 as well. So all the best for the IDT, and I hope you can score exemption in IDT. Thank you.